And I think we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our today's webinar on how to create content videos for our self-paced courses. Oh, I'm so glad I can already see 5 or 6 teacher friends tuning in. Welcome again, and please say hello in the comments to let me know you can hear and see me clearly. Also, feel free to introduce yourself, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if you do have any experience creating self-paced courses or any kind of video content. Hi, Angie. Thank you so much. For saying hello. I can tell you can hear and see me clearly. Hi, Katie. Welcome to you too. Awesome. So let's get straight into it, right? Today's webinar is going to be followed with a live workshop. So for anybody interested, you can join me after an hour webinar. I will share the link in the chat below where we can actually practice creating a sample video and a bit of editing. So kind of to try to apply the skills we're going to learn and talk about today. Hi, Mel. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Okay, so let me share the screen. I hope you can see my screen already. For those of you who don't know me, just a quick intro. My name is Ivy, and I'm an online independent teacher, but I'm actually a special educator by vocation. I've been teaching online for the past 7 years. Oh, it's been 8 years now already. And since 2021, after a Chinese market crash, I just left companies. I used to be teaching adults and children, but now I only teach kids age 4 to 12. I'm also founder of SuperTeacher, a super useful web app that takes care of all the backend admin that's kind of boring and time consuming while teaching online independently. One of the features we have there is course builder. And so I'm going to show you just quickly at the end of this webinar the way you can use it to add your video content. Okay, let me see. Everything looks good. Yes, perfect. Hi, Brenda. I'm glad to see you as well. Brenda says, I hope you're well. Too bad I have classes. Oh, don't worry. Thank you for saying hello. If you can stay for longer, you can just watch the replay later. It will be available. Katie says, Loom, Zoom, and others don't work on iOS. Ah, that's interesting. Katie says, I use an iPad, so I need some suggestions on how to record videos. Okay, I've used a few different recording apps, but they aren't that great. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so we're gonna go through like top tips on when recording and creating videos, and then we will discuss the software. I think it's always better if you are able to, of course, if you do have the option to record videos in as big screen as possible because of the resolution and the original quality of the video. So if you do have any other device, it would be much better if you could use it just for recording the video, and then video editing is another theme. But thank you, Kate. That's good to know when considering the right software for creating videos, right? Okay, so how to approach creating video content for a self-paced course best. We're going to talk and look into that first because there's different kind of video creations, right? Some people, like Brenda, for example, create videos for marketing and in promoting her wonderful web-based stories and curriculum. Which is called Young Learners Curriculum. You can check it out. Brenda, feel free to share the link, please, in the comments below. So this is a kind of marketing content, right? Video content. And this is a different thing. Like this kind of videos are created for a specific social media platforms in mind or marketing strategies. It can be an email video content or Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All of these platforms have different requirements and prerequisites for the video formats and everything. So today you don't have to worry about that because we're just going to look into creating the video content for a self-paced course. that should be like a classical, landscape mode video. So this is enough for you to make sure it's going to work on any course building platform. So it has to be landscape, and the quality, of course, should be as good as possible. When it comes, then we will look into software you can use to create and edit videos. I know Katie already mentioned some of them, like Loom, Zoom. You can also use Classin, Chinese classroom. People normally use for free for up to 20 classes per student. But actually, you can just, if you didn't know, like there is a Blackboard mode in Classin. You can enter to practice before class or anytime. And this is also where you can record an actual session, or you can just create a sample class and enter class by yourself, open up the whiteboard, the PDF, even the web browser, and I highly recommend it because it can be free for you. Then we have Vimeo. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but I love this one because it has an extension, and so it's web-based. So Zoom is an app, Classin is an app also. Vimeo is an extension you can download to your Chrome. I mean, you can just install it, and then whatever tab you are in, you can record. That means you can share the screen, open up some content, be it your content on your device or web-based, and you can record with Vimeo. It's really good. I've been using it a lot. Before I discovered the Wave video, which I love, and is my number one software for both creating and editing videos. So when it comes to creating content for your curriculum, you have to think in mind, we already mentioned like two important things. Have in mind, sorry, how you're going to create the video, and how and if you're going to be editing the video. And these are two things you have to have in mind when picking up the right software, right? And of all of these mentioned above, only Wave Video has both recording and editing features, and it has a free plan. So all of the software and tools we mentioned today will have a free plan. There's also OBS, I know many teachers love, and many creators actually love. It feels pretty much like Manicam. So if you're familiar with, animating your video feeds and something similar to that, you would like OBS. I personally am not very experienced with OBS. I've just demoed it, and it looks pretty much decent. Let me see if we have any comments at this point. Okay, let's see. Grant says, you're lagging a bit. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I can only check my connection, maybe switch, or maybe you can also refresh the webinar page. Hopefully that's helped. Sorry about that, Grant. Yeah, it could be. It's either yours or my connection. Katie says I don't like Classin. Yeah, it's not my number one choice for teaching, but when it comes to recording videos, you might as well, take great advantage of it because it's very interactive. And this is one of the top tips for today about when it comes to creating a video. Having your audience in mind, especially if you're doing a self-paced course for children, it's like kind of mandatory for it to be more creative and prompting and engaging, right? So Classin, in that regard, if you compare Classin to, let's say, Zoom or some other video recording software, Classin has much more features than any of them. Like you can open, as we said, like you can even open web-based content such as Word Wall game and just record and prompt your student. Like you can combine so many elements. You can use the whiteboard and so on. Yeah, but personally, I don't like it for teaching as well. It's too clunky for me. Yeah, Katie also says, especially because I already use Qualago, which allows you to record if you're on a desktop, but not on iOS. Good. That's also great to know. Grant also says not a fan of Classin either. I stick with Zoom Pro. Yeah, especially if you're paying, like you can then definitely host your videos on Zoom as well. Katie says, I want to record lessons showing my Qualago classroom. If I record with Classin, I can't do that. I think you can do that if you log into the web browser, right? Classroom has. So just open the web browser and then paste your classroom link. Let me know if that works or if you have already tried and how it goes, how it went actually. But good to know. This is very specific. Then we will look into some top tips for making videos more engaging, how we can host videos and why that is specifically important. Like creating content videos for courses is not just about making a good shot, right? Creating a high quality video, but it's all about turning it into an available piece of information or content to your audience, right? So you need to think about hosting. And also, we will see how to embed videos into a course structure or into a course builder. I can show you how to do that on SuperTeacher. And then after the webinar, because I anticipate it's gonna be time consuming. We're already like in approaching the minute 15. You can join me later, and we can work on creating a first video content, just a sample like 30-second a minute video, and to see what we can do about it, like how you could host it, edit it, and so on. If that sounds interesting, then you're more than welcome to join me. Cool. So how to approach creating video content for a self-paced course best? The first tip I would like to share with you today is have in mind clarity and structure. A video for a course is never just a video, right? It's a piece of a puzzle. It's always a part of a bigger picture you want to sell. So you should approach this as like having that big idea of your like a self-paced video topic maybe, and then think of it as if you do have some teaching experience, for example, think about the curriculum structure or the lesson structure. But it works, it really helps. It's what I've learned from other teachers who have no experience in creating videos and self-paced courses, is just find the analogy with the curriculum structure. Let's say you're using Young Learners curriculum or Abridge Academy, and both have levels and units and lessons, right? That's kind of a structure you could think of for your self-paced course. Think about the topic and then the main sections, and then kind of not lessons, but yes, content included. And one of them is going to be a video. So that's very important because you want to organize your content logically. So for the first video, maybe is it only going to be a welcome video, or the first piece of information you want to share with your student. When it comes to the video content itself, like a single video content, then think about the lesson structure. When you teach, you have like a warm up activity, and then usually we have vocabulary introduction or a review from the previous lesson, vocabulary introduction, then vocabulary practice, then putting that vocabulary into context, comprehension check, maybe a little short reading part, and then kind of a little quiz or review of the lesson. Think of all these elements and where you want to fit your video in. If you're like Katie, I think Katie mentioned she wants to actually create classes, right? Lessons showing my Colago classrooms. Katie, can you share more about that idea? Because that's the other kind of content you can create, like self-paced classes, right? A full lesson structure put in a course. For example, you're using one of the curriculums you love, such as Abridge Academy. That means you can create a little course following Abridge Academy structure, and then create your own kind of expansion course on the topic. If you've been with me last week when we talked about creating a self-paced course, and I used an example of my student and me wanting to create a self-paced course on improving her speaking skills. And I said, and we were like I'm actually thinking about creating a self-paced course following Abridge Academy curriculum structure. That means, if we're learning about colors and she struggles using the basic sentence structure, I will create a short mini course to prompt her, to give her more activities and opportunities to engage and speak actively outside of class as well. That was my idea. Okay, let me know what you think about that and if it makes sense. So, when it comes to clarity and structure, make sure to organize your content logically, breaking it into digestible chunks or modules. Video creation should base on like short videos, unless it's like content specific to it has to be longer, maybe a storytelling, or maybe a reading guided reading practice or something like that, that could last longer. But also have in mind your students, your audience base, and their attention span. If we're talking about kids, then a video should not be longer than like 3 minutes. I think 3 minutes is already long, considered a long video for children. But yeah, 1 to 3 minutes is just great to begin with. So to achieve that, you have to outline learning objectives of your course at the beginning of creating like the first course, and then for each video, what's your goal, what's the topic you're going to cover, and then go into video creation. Make sure if you are going to be the one speaking in the video, because there are different options. Like some people use AI, right? So that's an option as well, especially like if you're creating content maybe for adults. But again, I wouldn't recommend that. It's not personalized enough. People buying or taking your self-paced course want to get in touch with you, to have you available outside of class time, or at any time they want to reach out. In some cases, like for me, I do use AI to create student guides, for example, where parents are going to be just following a step-by-step video on SuperTeacher. I used AI, and the pros of that is I could just create a little script, put it into a wave video, pick an AI voice, pick a language even, and it would do all for me. Like that's how I get to create lots of content in a very short time. But this is different. Like this is just video guides for students and teachers. So even my teacher guides should be more personalized. Like I will put these skills into practice most definitely. So your tone, have in mind your tone, your pace. You are maybe a native English speaker teaching ESL, or maybe you're just a math teacher having all the knowledge in the world about math, but you're targeting a beginner level student and they have no clue what you're talking about. Maybe think about the choice of words, your pace, and yes, adjust those accordingly to your target audience. This is very important. Also, it's always better to record videos on a daylight. I mean, when you have the natural lighting, when you are not super tired, and all of these things we kind of forget about, but it's important. The way you're going to come across to your audience is all about the visuals, compared to classes where you can bring in your energy much more and kind of yes, pivot and be kind of improvise more. Just have those in mind. Let me just check the comments briefly. Um, yes, Katie says, I think it's better to show your face. Yeah, most definitely. It's much more personal, right? You're working on phonics and reading lessons. Awesome. So you create your own full lessons, right? Great. So I'm assuming you do have the lesson plans or structure. Maybe they're not sure if they're based on a certain curriculum or your own like lesson plans and activities, but that sounds amazing, and sounds much easier when you do have like a set structure, such as another curriculum, or if you are a curriculum creator as well, it can be easier. We mentioned that self-paced courses, especially the video section of them, are all about visuals, right? So think about using visual aids or props or realia while creating the content. Imagine me talking about shapes, and like think about how, take your own example, like how would you do that? Like would you just come to the camera, having a stage fright? That's okay, but a realia can most definitely help, like if I was about to create one right now, um, okay, you can see my screen, I hope, just to check. Okay, you can. Sorry. Like, if I was about to create one right now, I would grab my props. Like, I have them. I just finished class, and I would try to introduce, triangle, a triangle. It's a triangle, circle, blah blah. So I would do things that I normally do in class, but I would just focus more on the things I want this self-paced course to be about. If it's speaking skills, then I would have more role play probably included, or having an audio recorder embedded in my videos, which is something you can do. And this is all about how to make your videos interactive. You can add quizzes, questions, and prompt the student to reply. Think about incorporating demos or a role play I just mentioned and practical exercises within the videos. Think about your video quality. Of course, the better, the higher quality, the better. But you also have to think about the file size because you're going to be hosting that video somewhere. You can, in different course builders, SuperTeacher being one of them, you can upload a video, but it's not recommended because that way you give permission to your students to download it at any time and reproduce much easier than you would just use the embed option, like embedding your videos. We're going to discuss in a moment. Think about accessibility. Just to see, my sound was a little bit off. Okay, this is just me checking if the stream is okay. Okay, sorry about that. So think about accessibility. You have to ensure that your videos are accessible to all learners, meaning if just think about those things. Have a transcript. If a parent wants, if you are targeting kids and a parent wants to support their child but they struggle following your videos themselves, they're not that good at English, for example, include a transcript that follows the video. Add captions. Maybe you can, if your niche is like children with disabilities, you can add some kind of alternative formats for those audiences and so on. So just make sure your self-paced course can have a better reach. Think about feedback and support, actually incorporating the way for your students after watching the video to give you feedback or to ask questions or comment on the content. And you can use tools to embed those options in the video itself, or you can add a separate activity that's going to follow the video itself. Okay, let me check. Katie says, I use TPR a lot. For example, I show my kids how to count out how many sounds each word has by tapping their arm, their fingers, or clapping. I love that. So it's all about you, and no way any kind of AI could do that and replace that, right? Katie also says, I have experience from classroom teaching on how to structure lessons. Amazing. Also, this was, I don't run into copyright issues. Yes. Yeah. Most definitely super important. Katie also says, I'm also considering creating a self-paced course on using aromatherapy during reading. Perfect. Why not? Like last week we did talk about it. Like you do get the opportunity to explore different kinds of skills you have and incorporate them, or interests maybe, and incorporate them in a self-paced course. Lessons are usually time limited, right? If you teach for a company or independently, no matter the case, like you always have a 25-minute class or a 40-minute class, and you kind of might find yourself in a situation to not being able to cover everything in that set time, or you just would like to add new method. Like I love to use music, so sometimes when we just yesterday I learned about poetry with my private student, and like we really needed more time for her to create a poem, and then we went into creating it a background music for it, and yada yada yada. So that's something you could expand on. I could actually do, and most definitely you could do that, no matter the students you have in a live mode. I love that. This is super interesting. Okay, then okay, so we just had to clarify some things on approaching creating video content for a self-paced course, just to kind of have a setting for it and to know what you have to think about. Here are some top tips I collected from teachers and teacher creators, and my own research. So, when you want to create an amazing content video, you really have to know your audience. Thinking about your audience is going to inspire your approach and your, appearance and everything, all the elements you want to incorporate in the video itself as a part of the course, right? So knowing your audience, especially like it when it comes to age, you have to adjust the video content to the certain age, right? If you're teaching business professionals, for example, you don't need any editing tools. Basically, maybe you would like to just add a quiz on top of your video, making it interactive, but you do want to come across as professional, confident. You know what you're doing. You don't need any, pen and paper or whiteboard or whatnot or props to teach this audience, because it's very specific, right? If your audience is kids, again, depending on the age, you don't want to use a prop like this with a teenager, a 16-year-old ESL learner, or it really has to be age appropriate. And if you do have any experience teaching, then it's going to be easier for you to create, yes, the video that's going to target your audience best, most definitely. The second tip, and I highly recommend that, is scripting. When it comes to self-paced course, we mentioned before there is a big picture and then there are smaller chunks, and your video is just a small piece, but small but very important, maybe even if not the most important piece of the content you will create in the course, right? So scripting is something that helps me personally a lot, and I can see it working really well for a lot of teachers who don't have, experience selling courses or being on stage. I know the majority of us are used to be, in front of the camera, no matter if you like it or not, but you have to be right on stage, at least in a one-on-one content or one-on-four, or, just teaching online. But the thought of creating a piece of content once and forever and making it available worldwide and to a greater audience might be scary to some people. What will boost your confidence most definitely is scripting. That means first write your self-paced course structure, like just you know um, yeah, the outline, and then think about the first section of the course, what elements it's going to have, and then the smaller and the more specific you get, the easier it will be for you to do scripts. So scripting is a great technique to approach this. Maybe you just don't feel confident, or if you do feel confident also, like you will, if you are, for example, teaching ESL students, you will avoid all the excessive language if you do scripting. And it can be hard to keep your tone and vocabulary and speaking and pace down if you do not do scripting, if you don't write down what exactly you are going to cover and say in the video. Scripting, sorry, and then practicing what you're going to say is a great technique for you. You can first record yourself using an audio recorder like your phone, just to see, to check the pace in your speaking. Like, is it good enough? Is it too fast? Does it have a lot of information? Did you go out of the plan? Did you expand on the topic way too much? How about the time? Like, check all of these things using this simple technique. And it means just write down the specific text from welcome and hello to goodbye, see you in the next video, everything. By the way, that's how I created, like, I think 111 student guides. I mean, divided by 6, honestly, in 2 days, because I did use AI to translate them, and to add the captions and everything. But the content itself, I did it like that. I would just write a little script on a SuperTeacher feature, for example, how to create a self-paced course. I mean, it was for students, so it was like shorter videos, 30 seconds to a minute, long videos. And then I would first do the script. Then Wave Video has a teleprompter. If you're not familiar with that, that means you can pull up the text on top of the screen and read as you record yourself. So this will keep your, eye contact with the audience in place. You can just relax. Everything is there, and you can go back and forth as many times as you need. And in time, most definitely, practice does make perfect, or you will just get better. Keep it concise. That's how scripting helps you with that. Think about the visual appeal we talked about already, and consider adding variety. So here I wanted to point out that you can incorporate different video and formats, actually different content formats, to keep your videos dynamic and interesting, like maybe a role play or interactive element like a quiz we talked about. Any kind of a short break during the video is great. Maybe a sound. If I am about to create a speaking course, then I will definitely prompt my student to say, please repeat, triangle. And I would like act out. I would use my TPR as Katie mentioned before. I will wait like 3 seconds maybe. It's all about pacing and time and practice. And then I could add like a trophy, a classroom trophy, or a star, or anything, an audio reward, so the student feels progress and can refresh, and they feel as if they got feedback on what they're doing. Also, adding I didn't add this here, but adding a reward system to your video content is also great to prompt the students to respond and keep going, especially keep going. It would be a great motivator. I think not just for kids, but for most definitely for kids. But if you think about adults, you could definitely incorporate a kind of a certificate for your self-paced course, right? Why not? If you are like Teacher Katie, and she even has a business name, Read with Teacher Katie, like why not think about creating a little certificate to keep them going and keep them engaged? Oh, we have another Katie joining in. Hi, Katie. Thank you. Katie from Abridge Academy. By the way, we just mentioned Abridge Academy a minute ago, and the way it can actually help you think about and plan for your self-paced course. Tuning in from the ferry. Oh my goodness, you're having a great time. I'm glad your internet is working well. So thank you. Don't worry, there will be a replay. And thanks so much for tuning in. Awesome. And accessibility. In this context, think about the way your students are going to access your videos. Are they going to be downloadable? If yes, why? Because it's important to think about that in advance. If not, why not? What do you want to achieve with that? There are some markets, like you can always think about what you want to achieve. For example, I would do my first video as a downloadable, maybe, so the parent, because my target audience is kids, and I would actually have my parents download it and share it with their friends if they want to promote me, or refer students, or share the course. If somebody would ask, what's the course about? Oh, okay, here is a glimpse of it. Like, think in terms of the way you want your course to be accessible. The best way always is to embed your content, and we kind of brushed upon that earlier. But the more serious reason behind that, why it's highly recommended, like the best way to go about it, is to protect your video content. Because if you do embed it, it just means you're sharing it within the course builder of your choice. And that means you can enable or disable access to your course at any point. If you downloaded it to any platform, then you're basically giving permission to anybody to download it and maybe even reproduce or, misuse your content. So you would want to avoid that. Let me check if we have more comments. Oh, Katie from Read with Teacher Katie says, I love the idea of certificates, but for self-paced, it would have to be a general certificate with no student name, right? However you want. On SuperTeacher, though, we do have an option if you're thinking of building a self-paced course with a certificate on SuperTeacher platform. We do have a certificate template, so it can fill your student's name, your name, the date they finished, and the course title. It can do all of that. I'm just about to finish designing the certificate. Maybe I can share the ideas, like we can discuss that in our regular Monday and Wednesday trainings to kind of, you can take part into designing the certificate if you want to, but it would be a template, a single template for everyone. So we should have in mind, that it's suitable for both kids and adults. But if you want to provide them with a certificate yourself, you can also do so by using a Canva template or another tool. Katie says, can you show any certificate examples? Yeah, why not? We can look into that for sure. Yes, just to check more comments. Katie says, depending on your course platform, it can generate certificates. Yeah, with a student name. Yes, exactly what we talked about. Completion date, teacher name. Yes, exactly. Sorry, you were faster. Is there a tutorial on how to do the SuperTeacher series? So once we design it and it's on the platform, you don't have to do anything. As soon as the student finishes the course, you get notified, they get notified, and they get the certificate by default, like automatically. SuperTeacher issues and creates the certificate for them. Katie says, super excited for this to be coming soon. Yeah, on SuperTeacher. Yeah, yes. Thank you. I would love if registered SuperTeachers would take part into designing it. Like, if you do have any preferences, you're more than welcome to join me in our Monday or Wednesday training, and I can show you what I've been working so far. It's not ready yet, but yeah. What I do is I went to Canva and I found some templates. Like when you go to Canva, and even if you're on a free plan, you can just type in templates, and you will see, like, actually when you start creating a document or a file, it will prompt you if you want it to be a flyer or certificate and so on. And then you can play around with colors, shapes, and everything. Hope this helps. I don't want to overwhelm you with that. Katie says, yeah, I seem to remember a teacher at my school using some kind of Google form thing to create certificates with students' name on, but I'm not sure how she did, to be honest. Yeah, I did used to create certificates for my students, and in class, like when they finish a unit or a level, I would but it was very personalized. Like I would add a student's image even and name, and then bells and whistles and my picture on top of it. It was just for fun, and I did share it in a digital form. Yeah, but most definitely, thinking about adding certificates, it can highly motivate your students, and both students, and if you're teaching kids, parents might appreciate that. How parents can be proud and want to be proud of their kids. So it's not like, if I take this course, okay, it's finished, and well, now what? You can just share the certificate with them, and they will most definitely be happy to share it around in their social media to show how their student did well. Maybe it's a good idea to have, if you do create them on your own, to have a link or a QR code added on it. I will see if it's actually possible for us to do that, to add a teacher profile link on the certificate. That would be so cool, right? Let me know what you think. Okay. I didn't forget, Katie. I will show you later in the workshop. I will share what I have for now when it comes to certificates. Okay, on to the apps. Software you can use to create videos. There are so many options, and today's recommendations are, I took into consideration some factors like the quality, this little checklist you should have in mind when making the right choice. So you want to think about the video quality. You can test around a few, but yeah, if you're recording with the general rule is if you're using an app, the video quality is going to be better because it doesn't depend on your video, I mean, internet bandwidth and stability and everything, which is the case with some web-based video recorders such as Vimeo and Wave Video. So if you're using Zoom, using your app or lesson, it can also depend, of course, on the internet, but the risk is way lower if you compare to the web-based recorders, of course, because they have to process both the video and audio in a live online mode. Think about the file size. Sorry. The bigger the file, the greater the hosting price can be for you. There are free options, of course. Think about hosting, and this is important, like if you do decide to embed and share your video content that way, not by uploading and downloading it for your students, but actually to be able to embed them, right? If you want a platform that has all of this, that ticks all of these boxes, you definitely should go with Wave Video because it has all of that for video creation plus editing tools. None of these, I mean, maybe OBS, but Zoom, Classin, Vimeo, QuickTime Player, they don't have editing options except other than, just cutting the length of the video. So some apps that are widely used are Zoom, Classin, and OBS. I can share the links if you want me to. Maybe I guess everybody's familiar with Zoom, and maybe even Classin. I'm just gonna add the OBS link. It's free. It supports Windows and iOS and Linux. I mean, Mac and Linux. Web-based are Wave Video and Vimeo. The difference is Wave Video is you just log in and do all the editing and video creation, and on Vimeo you can install the extension we talked about before briefly, when you can just edit and then use it when you need, and it can create your tab or your screen, audio, video, everything included. Let me share the link to Vimeo as well. I love it. They used to have no limits on the cloud size, so I did use it pretty much before I switched to Wave Video, which is by far the best. Like even this webinar, by the way, is on Wave Video, so it's super powerful, but this is a paid version. For your own needs, if you're just looking for super cool software to use to create content videos for your self-paced courses, then you can just go with the free version. Katie says, for kids in China, Google Forms would not work, right? Yes, anything Google, right? Google Forms wouldn't work. David says, Google Slides is similar to PowerPoint. Also, Microsoft's Web PowerPoint is free too. Yeah, most definitely. Just have in mind your target audience. If you do work with Chinese market, then lots of these web-based software do not work, or they just work and then stop working at some point. Katie says, if you use Zoom, be sure to record locally, not to the cloud. Great point, Katie. Thank you for that. You can't use OBS on iOS. Okay, maybe you can check if you can use Wave Video on iOS. I'm pretty much sure you can, but please do check yourself so you can make sure. Katie says, someone earlier was asking about recording on an iPad. Yeah, I used to use my phone for everything and would just use the main camera for the video bit, then separately take screenshots of my slides. Great idea. It also works for, just recording the video, and then you can upload it in a video editing tool such as Wave Video as well, if you do need to edit it more. Katie says, sorry, screenshots wouldn't work if you want to be interactive on the Qualago whiteboard. True, but when you can, but then you can just record using Quala's recording function. No, yeah, yes, Wave works. Yeah, Katie's also using Wave. Thank you, Katie. So I haven't checked, but most definitely if Katie says so, because she's using it also extensively. Oh, okay, okay. So the color recording feature is not available on iPad. Good to know. Katie can. Oh, thank you for confirming that, Katie. You said you've used Wave for your MacBook, Windows, and Android phone without any issues. Perfect. Yeah, Wave Video is amazing. Most definitely. Okay, so there are also video players you have by default on your device. Maybe there are some of them on your iPads for you, Katie. I know on my Mac I have the QuickTime player. There was also an iVideo software earlier, but now I think I don't have it anymore. But just a QuickTime player is simple enough. You can open it. I can show you that. Maybe now. Okay, let me just share my whole screen if I can do that. Okay, share screen. Yes. Okay. I'm just worried I'm going to create a mirror effect. I'm going to keep it to to a tab, sorry. But yes, you can most definitely just open the QuickTime player, go to the top menu, and then in the tools, it's going to offer you the record option. It's very simple. It will store the video on your device. The cons of it, I don't like it personally because the file size is quite big. Like no matter the resolution I set, like the file size is always way bigger than if I'm recording with a Vimeo or Wave video. That's what I noticed. Let me know in the comments if you have a different experience. And there is a device-based recording option on Mac. There is a shortcut combination you can use, and it's Command, Shift, and 5, and instantly you'll get to record either a piece of your screen or however you want to adjust it. So that means you could just open a video feed of yourself in any app you use and open a content, put everything in place, and then record. On Windows, it's the Windows key plus Alt plus R. I thought maybe somebody would appreciate that information as well. We talked about how to make them interactive, and yeah, let me check for more comments at this point. I don't want to overwhelm everybody. Yeah, Katie says I look into Wave. Katie, after today's webinar, we're going to switch to a little workshop where you can join if you do have time to stay. If not, don't worry, we can definitely do that in our regular teacher trainings as well. Yes, and do let us know how it goes, or maybe if you stay, we can check it out together. David says for videos, it's better to record in that resolution because nowadays people use their phone. Yeah, so you want to make sure it's mobile friendly, right? Oh yeah, I didn't share the Wave video link, most definitely. Okay, just a second. It's wave.video. Like that. Yes, and Katie says, thank you so much for the reminder, Katie. And she says, QuickTime recording on Mac is good. Yeah, it's stable. It's good. You can do a small editing, like just cutting the pieces of the video afterwards, but nothing other than that. So I just wanted to use this 5 to 6 minutes to show you how to actually record, because I did have some teacher friends saying like, I don't even know how to, and that's totally fine. Like I don't have the record button, for example. Sorry, on Zoom. I'm going to try to share the whole screen and we can go through the piece of softwares we mentioned today, just the most common ones, right? So if you do want to create a simple video, maybe your introduction video to the course, any kind of video, basically. Sorry for the rumble. On Zoom, what you would need to do is download the Zoom app. Just to share my whole screen. Okay, share entire screen. Sorry if there is a mirror effect briefly. I hope you can see my Zoom app now. Oh, no, I will pull it up. Just give me a second. How about now? Yes, I think now. Yes, you're able to see my Zoom windows. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So when you download Zoom by going to zoom.us, um, you can just download it, log in with your Gmail or any kind of email account, and you're on the free plan. You can still record, but you can only record locally. You can't keep your files hosted on Zoom. So you would just go, sorry, open up the app, and then you can just click enter your personal meeting room. It means you don't have to create a session, so you're able to enter. You could just enter straight there. Once Zoom opens, depending on your setup, usually by default you will get prompted like this: join with computer audio, and you can set up to automatically join with your audio. At the moment, I will just join and then disable it so we don't have echoing. Okay, now it's on mute. And this is my screen, so there is nothing, right? If I just want to record myself, I will enable my camera, make sure my background looks appropriate, the lighting, all the basic elements. Think about you creating your introduction video. If you do have some teaching experience, you did have to create an intro video. So the basic setup, make sure it fits your course topic, or either it's like presentable. The lighting is bright, you're dressed properly based on your audience. You have a proper sounding. Okay. And then you would look for a record button. Usually it's here. Or if you're in a smaller screen, you will have a menu on the right to kind of expand, on the page. And then it tends to hide some options. So you can just click more. Yes, this option that says more. And then you will find record on this computer. Because I'm in full screen, I get to see all the tools here. So I will click record.
Recording in progress.
And you see, you even get notified if you're muted. Unmute myself, I won't do that. I will record without audio because we're already in a chat. Record. Hello, thank you everyone for joining me in today's webinar. That was amazing, and I hope you will join me in the workshop later on. When you are done, when you're happy with it, you can just click stop recording, or you can even pause recording.
Recording stopped.
Like me, I sometimes have cough, so I would just stop myself, start again, repeat the last sentence, and so on. These are like techniques of actual video recordings we can discuss later on, not to go into much detail. And then resume.
Recording in progress.
Mm-hmm. And then when you stop
recording stopped.
Maybe you wonder like, where the heck is my video now? Because nothing happened. I just stopped recording. As soon as you end the meeting for all, you will see what happens on my screen. So before that, you don't see anything. But now you see it says converting meeting recording. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Great. Yay, and there is no mirror effect. I'm so glad. Okay, so you just let Zoom do its job. It's gonna download it, and it's gonna create a folder named Zoom, and then some numbers, the date usually, added to it. Let's see how it goes. So we just created a minute video, right? It says you have a recording that needs to be converted. Zoom just makes sure to adjust your video format to any kind of player later on, or a video editor. You don't have to do anything. Just don't click stop converting. Just let it be. Okay. Oh, wow, it's pretty much fast. Having in mind we're in a video in the middle of a webinar. I didn't expect that. And then once it's done, it's going to open the actual folder for you. So usually if you don't have it already, it's going to create a folder called Zoom, and here you will see all of your recordings, which is really nice, by date. So today's video is here. It also offers a separate audio to be downloaded, but since we were muted, it's empty. It's an empty file. So here it is. Let's see. Okay, and you can see the video. Oh, Dave, thank you. Now I see there is a lag. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So that's how you do the technical side of creating the video. Assuming you do have the content, you know what you're going to say, you know which part of your course structure the video belongs to. So to sum up with this scripting, think about what you're going to say, put it on paper, pick the video recording software. As we mentioned before, my number one choice is, and many teacher creators' choice is Wave Video, because it not only it allows you to record within it, but also edit your videos and do so much more. Even export videos for different social media formats, cut and do all the editing. How about OBS? Let's check OBS. Oh, I haven't downloaded it. Actually, I removed it. But basically, yeah, we can check it. Maybe somebody who is using it can share a tip or two. Feel free to comment. I won't, try to do it now because I haven't been using it. But I've heard teachers recommending it for sure. And we also mentioned, Vimeo. Let me show you Vimeo. So you just have to add an extension. Here it is. It's called Vimeo Record. You can search for it in Google Marketplace, or you just type in Vimeo Record extension. It's a Google Chrome extension. I hope you can see it. When I open it, let's see how it works. Let me show you. So once you download it, you just click on it, and it's going to open a new tab. If you're not logged in, you will have to log in. You can log in with your Google or Facebook or even Apple account. I think I was using this one. You don't have to log in, but for the videos to be downloadable, then it's better, to log in actually. And here you get a library. On their free plan, you get 5 gigabytes, I think it was, yes. And you have a monthly limit of how many videos to create. I was on their free plan from before, so I still don't have any limits. Like my library is huge. I have lots of videos there. But okay, so we just logged in now. So when I click on the extension now, we're logged in. So you have to be logged in to start recording. Here, you will get an option to record the screen, just the camera, or both. You can adjust the camera, like if you use Minicam or any other camera, you can pick it here. My mic is off at the moment because we are muted. I'm muted. So, and you just start recording. You can record an entire screen, which is really good if you do use some worksheets you created, or a Chrome tab, which is great if you create word wall games, for example. So it's enough for you to share your camera and the tab only. I'm going to pick the Chrome tab. Let's see today's presentation. And here, make sure to, if you want to play some audios from the presentation you share, to enable, this is also on Zoom, to share the tab audio. Share, 3, 2, 1, time to prepare. Hi, thank you so much for having me today. We're an hour into our webinar on how to create video content for your self-paced courses. I do not have a script for this part of the webinar. So thank you for tuning in today. And let me share the link so we can switch into our private circle session or workshop where we're going to explore Wave Video in more detail and have a Q&A on everything we talked about today. I hope it was useful. Let me know in the comments, especially if you're watching the replay. Like, do feel free to ask and comment on anything you saw today. And to stop recording on wave video, you have this little, you can also pause recording or just stop. Once you stop recording, it's gonna allow, it's gonna create a link for your video so they can host your videos, or you can download them for further editing. So this is really neat. You see, it's unlisted for now. You can even embed it, but the number of videos is limited. To embed the video, we haven't checked that before. You can embed videos from hosting platforms. If your video is on your device, then you cannot embed it. You can just upload it either to YouTube or other hosting platforms, such as in Wave Video. You can also use to upload your videos and then get the embed code. But usually you would look for a button that looks like this, embed, and then a piece of code would be there. And then you would just need to copy embed code and add it, sorry, add this code into the platform of your choice. If you are using SuperTeacher, then you will have to log in to your teacher account. Let me access my demo account. Or if you're new to SuperTeacher, feel free to register. It's free to begin with. We have a free forever plan, and you can subscribe at any point for just $9 a month and get all these awesome features like offer one-on-one classes, create class packages, group classes, and even self-paced courses and subscription programs. So to add your video or the video we just created, I would just click add course or go to the course I already created. Let's see, Angie's. I hope you're still there, Angie. Let's check your demo course. Course details. After filling up some basic info about the course, like the name, the price, the subject, and if your course is a one-time purchase or subscription-based, and a bit about the course, then you can describe your course goals, which helps with video creation in a way that you know exactly, like once you do this step, think about what your learners are going to achieve after the course. It's going to help you structure the course better. And then add sections. Let's see, here we have a welcome section. I only have a hello song, I think. I'm going to add content. Let's say my first video. And I want it to be second. And here is the little iframe. We definitely need to rename this to embed, but iframe means embed. Paste the code I just grabbed. Let's say it's gonna last 60 seconds and submit. And that's how you do it on SuperTeacher. Sorry if this was a little bit too fast. Don't worry about that. You can definitely join me here. Okay, let me just show you the way it looks actually. Once you create your course on SuperTeacher, you go back to your courses section and click this little magnifier. This is a little magnifier you can use to see your course. So you will see the course name, that it's for ESL learners. This would be your teacher name. You have some feedback. This would be a course intro or a welcome message. The price, the student can just click and purchase using either a card or WeChat Pay. And soon we're going to be enabling Alipay as well. And they have a preview of your course. They don't have access to your course unless they pay. But because we're previewing as a creator, like I'm the creator, I could just open it up and show you. Oh, this was not a video. My first video. Okay. Here we go. Now you see. I can enter full screen and just play the video, right? I can't download it because it's embedded, it's protected, and that's how it works. Hope this helps. Okay, time to wrap it up. Just to check for last minute comments and stop sharing the whole screen. Sorry for that. Oh, hide. Yeah, I'm back. Um, hey, ING is here. Cool. Nice. Okay, so Katie says, I tried OBS a few years ago. It's a lot more complicated than other options. I think so too. It also kept taking snapshots of a bit of like a video, a snapshot randomly, and putting it on my desktop. So it's a little bit buggy, so I don't really recommend it that much. It would be my last choice. But out of the other options, it does come to the list of top five. Um, but seems to be very powerful, yeah, in terms of the more advanced features and things. Is it better to embed the video? I think we answered that question. I think I just discussed on that. Katie also says, by the way, for video hosting in China, YouTube and Vimeo are blocked, but Wave Video works. Super important to know. Other options for China, if you want your videos to be public, is Bilibili platform. Hi, Angie. Thank you for confirming you're there. Katie also says, not sure my Wave discount link sent properly above. Yeah, you do include it. Yes, of course. Katie has a special deal with Wave Video, an affiliate link, I think, and please do use it if you do want to go pro. For the time being, if you just want to explore it, there's always a free version, and the only limitation is like their cloud size for hosting video, but you still get pretty much a lot of space to use, and the some of the editing features, like their library, for example, has 2 million images you can use for your videos in the free plan, but on the paid plan you have 20 million, so it's not a difference at all, right, when you look into it. Okay. So Katie says, so if I have videos on my iPad, should I upload to YouTube? Yes, much better. You should upload them to YouTube or any other software like Wave Video, but YouTube is great. And you can just upload it as private, unlisted, so it's not available publicly. And then use that embed code to add it into SuperTeacher. Works much better. Or if you're creating for Chinese market, Bilibili is the option. Bilibili is their version, I think, or Douyin. Did I make a mistake? I think Bilibili, yes. Bilibili, let me share. Let me grab the link. Okay, here we go. Basically, yes, Bilibili is bilibili.com. And you can host videos. It's like a Chinese version of YouTube. Because China everything, right? Here we go. I hope this helps. It says, yeah, you can embed videos from any video hosting platform. Yes, not just video platforms, but also WordWall, worksheet platforms, any kind of content that has an embed option. Katie says, but I think you mentioned you had students in China. Yeah, okay, this is an ongoing conversation I love. Oh, hi, Rella, and now I see you there as well. I like how SuperTeacher works with video apps. I will register for Wave. Awesome. Thank you so much for finding value in it. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's wrap it up here. It says Bilibili is good, but all your videos would be public. It doesn't have the private option. Okay, let's discuss further in the here. Let me just share our training link. And okay, here we go. So let me know if you can see it. If not, it's our regular teacher trainings link. No matter if you are registered with SuperTeacher, you're very welcome to join. If you're just tuning in, and have no idea what we were talking about, but you want to learn about video editing and creation, do come. Okay, I just need to make sure everybody saw the link. Just let me know if you could see it. And off we go. Thank you so much. Yes, you can embed Bilibili videos. The difference is, as Katie confirmed, there would not be private, but still, like if they're only part of the content, maybe you're thinking of promoting yourself. Maybe it would work for you, as a piece of your actual self-paced course. The video can be just a small part of it. to promote you on the Chinese social media. Why not? That would be a good strategy as well. Okay, just let me know if you got the link so we can switch to our private workshop. Yes, thank you so much. Thanks, Angie, for confirming. See you there in a moment. Grab water or something you need, and let's say see you there in a minute. Thank you. Bye, everyone.